part of our new Canon Project. We're so grateful to receive funding from the National Endowment for the Arts and the Sphinx Venture Fund to support this project, which also has collaborators with Rising Tide Music Press and the American Directors Choral Association. This is incredibly exciting because our members have asked for this kind of repertoire, and over the next 2 years, 12 new choral and 12 new string works will be written by Black and Latinx composers. Today marks the first premiere of the first set of string works that have been composed. Adrian Gordon, would you please come to the podium and share a little bit about the project?
All right, well, welcome, good afternoon, or good evening, I should say. I'm Adrian Gordon. I am a composer and music educator. I was asked to say a few words, so I'm just going to talk a little bit about the New Canon Project. I've had the pleasure of working with the New Canon Project since about August. And I've been able to work with a talented young composer named Traci. You're going to hear one of her works tonight. It's called Reaching Up, but it's a pleasure to work with these young composers, and seeing as she's not in the classroom, but it was fun to go through some of the things that people who are not in the classroom may not know. So things like developing a theme that's going to get stuck in a student's head, or appropriate fingerings, or appropriate ranges for particular grade levels. So all of that was really interesting and fun to pass along. So you're going to hear that in a little bit. But in case you don't know, the New Canon Project was started because of multiple requests from ASTA members looking for resources for underrepresented composers. And the New Canon Project, they put their money where their mouth is, and they funded this project, and they put this thing together where they are assisting these composers from start to finish. So they're having the composing process, and then the editing process, and then the publishing process. So big shout out to a couple people, Miss Alyssa Jones, who's the head of Rising Tide Music Press. Big shout out also to Ms. Rebecca McLeod for including me in this whole project. And Ms. Lynn Tuttle as well for including me in this project. Big shout out to ASTA for spearheading this and making this whole thing come to life. And also to ACDA, and also Hal Leonard, arrangement, because they're the ones who were helping with the whole publishing aspect of it. So all those wonderful folks, we're really appreciative. So last thing, in the past couple of weeks and months, I've been doing my own research, and I came across some interesting work by the Institute for Composer Diversity. I was looking at some of their studies. They did a study in 2022 and 2023. And what they did was they took prescribed music lists of 12 different states, and I think it's kind of indicative of the larger population. What they did is they found that in those 12 states of the prescribed music list, which we know is kind of like the gateway to music for young students, they only found that about 1.5% of the music is by female composers of color. And they found that 1.2% of the music is by male composers of color. So you can imagine this whole project was of deep interest to me, and we have a long way to go, but I think that this is a wonderful start. So I think tonight it's important to celebrate excellence and celebrate progress. So would you join me in celebrating the New Canon Project? And thank you to the Directors Orchestra for premiering these pieces. Thank you guys so much. Really appreciate it. Thank you all so much for letting me come up here and say a few words. I'm going to pass the mic back to Rebecca.
Thank you. And if you aren't aware of Adrian's music, please look up Adrian Gordon. He has some incredible pieces already available for publication. Yes. Yeah, we got some fans. That really helps us understand what you're about to hear this evening. Is Scott Harris here? Oh, great, Scott. Now I'd like to introduce Scott Harris, who works for Hal Leonard, who is going to be making these pieces available. Scott, can you add how ArrangeMe.com is partnering with us on this?
Thank you. Yes, my name is Skye Harris. I'm the program manager of ArrangeMe.com, which is Hal Leonard's self-publishing division. So it's a real joy to partner with Lynn and Robin and the new Canon Project, ACDA, asked to give a voice and carve out some sunlight to make these pieces accessible for music customers all over the world via She Music Direct and SheMusicPlus.com, both Hal Leonard companies. Millions of customers worldwide. Just could not be more pleased to partner with these organizations and the new Canon Project specifically. User-generated content is by definition underrepresented, and so this program is near and dear to our heart to give a voice to those who are doing excellent work and deserve a place in the marketplace. So thank you, Robin, and everyone.
Thanks so much for this. Now it gives us great pleasure to introduce Tamara Torres, the conductor of this year's ASTA's Teachers Orchestra. Tamara is the new orchestra director at Georgia State University and a champion of new works from underrepresented voices. Tamara.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a true honor to be here today. So I just want to make a note that often young composers are called emerging composers, and well, when are they ever emerged? And I think that our job as music educators is to help composers in their learning process. And the composers we've had the fortune to play their music, and 3 of them have been here this entire day working with us on the music. I would say they're emerged. And so I would really encourage you to invest in their music. You actually might have a little leaflet on your table, and it has a QR code which will take you directly to the risingtidemusicpress.com, where you can actually go ahead and purchase a score right now for only $12.50, and you'll receive a $10 discount for the full set of parts. And actually it'll send you a digital download immediately, so you can even follow along with the music as we're about to play it. And I really encourage you to do that. So you're about to hear 5 pieces that each in their own right offer so much value educationally and musically, and there's so much substance in each of them, not in addition, of course, to the unique cultural backgrounds and opportunities for teaching in all of them that I think there's a big deficit right now. And so I'm so happy that we kind of can start filling that. So we really look forward to presenting these pieces to you. I want to introduce you to our first composer, Skye Soto Steele.
Thanks so much. It's really, really an honor to be a part of this project. I'll just say a few words about the piece you're about to hear, which I co-wrote with my friend Anna Brathwaite's 8th grade orchestra at a charter school in Bushwick, Brooklyn, where she teaches. And I was thinking when I came to the new Canon project, it made me think about also the old canon that we haven't brought into the canon. So for this piece, I wanted to bring in the voices of the young musicians. So all the themes you'll hear came directly from the students in her orchestra, but also the frames of reference for myself as a Puerto Rican musician, Latin music in general. So the work of salsa violinists, Pupi Legarreta, the work of the Bomba family, Familia Cepeda from Puerto Rico, the work of Tego Calderon, one of the great artists of reggaeton. So those influences are here as well. So they called the piece "I Like to Listen to Music," and it's true.
That was Skye Soto Steele's I Like to Listen to Music. I'd like to introduce our next composer, Bianca Do Prado.
Hi everyone, it's a great honor and one of the biggest joys of my life being here today and hearing them bring my music to life. So I'm a Brazilian composer, teacher, passionate educator. I teach, I'm a Suzuki teacher, so I teach lots of little kids how to play the cello. And this piece is called Valsa para Sofia. It's a waltz, and Sofia was my first little 3-year-old student I had in my life, cello student, and she was just so joyful and loved so much playing cello. And when I write music, I think about all the students I had the honor and pleasure to teach in my life, and how beautiful it is to see them blooming. Sofia is now 9 years old. She's still in Brazil. I teach her online lessons every 2 weeks. And it's just so much joy seeing her growing, developing, but still keeping that simple heart that kids have. And so the piece kind of goes through the journey of a young musician where you start plucking your strings and then you start learning melodies, and then things get a little more complicated, but still joyful and light. So I hope you enjoy Valsa para Sofia.
next piece will be by Rolando Gomez called Nocturno Isleño. Our next piece is called Across Time by composer Traci Wilusz. piece will be Skyline Serenade by composer Dion Morales, who is actually also here today. We're so happy to welcome him.
Hello, everybody. First, just thank you all for sticking around. This really means a lot. As a person who grew up in orchestra, I actually didn't start until I was in high school because my elementary school didn't have orchestra. But I fell in love with it, and seeing just the passion here over my career is amazing. Piece Skyline Serenade. I'm from Chicago, Illinois, and we have a beautiful skyline. But I spend a lot of time with my wife staring at the sky on days where it's beautiful sunrises, sunsets, but also when it's raining, thunder, snow, all of it. And this is just a breath of emotion, a journey. We start in one place and end with a party. Enjoy.
us. We're all on a constant journey of learning, and we just want to share one of the pieces that we weren't going to perform, but we ran into the composer here. It's a piece very close to my heart from my own experience at Lakeside High School in Atlanta, Georgia. It's a piece that from someone who has had much experience and is maybe on the other side than these younger composers, and hopefully they will continue to write as beautifully and share their music just as this composer has. This is Susan Day's Autumn Vows, and dedicated to Susan Day.
Thank you, Tamara, for that amazing performance, and thank you to the orchestra. One more recognition for Dion.